Hello everyone. So the year is almost coming to a wrap. So I now present to you my top 10 favorite movies of 2020. Of course, I didn't get the chance to watch every single movie that came out this year. So if I miss anything on this list, please let me know what your thoughts are on it, of course, and what movies I should watch. Because like I said, I didn't get the chance to watch every single movie. So that doesn't mean that this list is completely definitive. It's just the movies that hit home with me the most, that I enjoyed quite a bit, and that I would easily recommend to everyone to watch. So without further ado, let me get into my list of my top 10 favorite movies of the year. Starting off at number 10, we have a Netflix original movie starring Chris Hemsworth. Distraction was a movie that really surprised me about how great it was as an action piece. There is about a 7-minute one-shot sequence in this movie that I thought was absolutely unbelievable. It had a really good story, really good characters in it as well, and sometimes the movie fell apart in me wondering if the kid that was trying to be saved was really worth all the efforts, but great performances all around and just a solid action movie. The Invisible Man was a movie that I thought really nailed taking an old school monster movie villain and bringing it into the modern era. I thought how they portrayed the character, the tech, and just the whole premise of this film was absolutely brilliant into making it a contemporary story. The soundtrack was awesome and really synthy, and it just added so much to the horror that was going on screen, which there's a couple times where the movie made me jump a little bit, and I don't find that too much in horror movies. Great twists in it, and yeah, just an overall very well executed movie, and Elizabeth Moss was fantastic in it as well. At number 8, we have Onward. I thought this was just an absolutely heartwarming, amazing movie. Chris Pratt and Tom Holland bring their all in terms of their chemistry together, and just amazing voice acting, great imagery. I do wish that there would have been a little more of the medieval and fantasy elements in this movie, but it leaves it open for sequels, and I'm certain that we're going to get it in that. But it was just a great tale of brothers really connecting with one another, and just an amazing twist to the ending of this movie that was so heartwarming and easily one of my favorite movie endings that I've seen in a long time. And it just made me reflect a lot, and just overall a fantastic movie. At number 7, we have Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. I thought that this was just an endgame level event for the DC Universe. This is the end of their animated movies, and they're starting a brand new line of them. But what a perfect way to end just a fantastic run of animated movies for the DC Universe. It was so epic. We got to see our heroes in absolute peril, and it was just very different, and the stakes were so high. Of course, there's deaths in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but not like it was here, and it was just absolutely fantastic. And I wish that the DC Universe will be able to one day bring the epicness and just the stakes of the cinematic universe to this level, because it was fantastic, and I highly recommend it to any fan of the DC Universe. So Tenet was an absolutely mind-bending movie that had so many twists and turns in it, and even after I watched it, there were so many things that I went online and found out about it, and just the storytelling was so good in this movie. The soundtrack was unbelievable, amazing action sequences, and just the pacing of it was absolutely unbelievable. Performances were so amazing. Really, the only thing that I have to give this movie like a decline in points for was that sometimes the soundtrack or the sound effects going on in the background were overpowering the dialogue that was going on screen between the characters. That's really all I can say negative about this movie. It was fantastic. Not one of like my top 5 Christopher Nolan movies, but just an overall amazingly executed film. You can tell this was a very personal film for Ben Affleck when just watching it all. It was really fantastic in terms of its emotion, really bringing out the best and the worst in all the characters in this movie, and just an awesome underdog tale about a high school basketball team that nobody would even bat an eye for or even think could win a single game. And it's just one of my favorite truly underdog sports movies that I've ever watched, and I highly recommend it to anyone. It's very heavy, very good, and it's one of the movies that just really hit home with me and made me feel a lot of good things and a lot of happiness by the end of it. And yeah, I just highly recommend it. One Night in Miami is just a must-watch movie. Just all the characters and their portrayals were so well done, and it was just almost like we were transported back in time to relive this conversation with all of the characters, and just great dichotomies between past and present day in terms of race relations in the US, and truly just a fantastic movie. Go watch it. It's very good. So another Netflix original creeps onto the list. The Five Bloods is easily one of my favorite Spike Lee movies that I've seen in a long time, and just one of my favorite movies made by him. Just amazing action and just great characters that are put onto the screen in full. We get to learn everything about them. A really good portrayal of PTSD, hope, failure. Easily, I gotta say, one of my favorite performances by Chadwick Boseman in this movie as well. It's just a great movie that touches on so many things in terms of war and race, colonialism, the Black Panther movement. It was just absolutely fantastic. And yes, do go watch this film on Netflix. It's just about 2.5 hours long, and it's gonna be one of the best movies you watch this year, no matter what your taste is. It's absolutely fantastic. The Trial of the Chicago 7 is truly one of those movies that I think everyone needs to experience and know about. It's just a protest that goes wrong, and again, it shows so much about what the characters were going through and draws so many dichotomies between past and present day that still ring really true, and it's just an amazing social commentary that touches on so many important factors, and it's brought to the screen brilliantly. Sacha Baron Cohen, easily one of my favorite performances, if not my favorite, that he's ever done. And every single actor in this movie absolutely nailed what they were supposed to do and touch upon. And yeah, fantastic movie. That's why it's my number 2. Go watch it. It's on Netflix. So I have 2 honorable mentions. One is a Netflix original movie called #Alive. This is a South Korean zombie film, and it was just very unique to any other zombie film that I've ever seen. It had really good action elements to it, shot very well, and just showed isolation very well, and it kept it really entertaining. It's on Netflix. Definitely go check it out. And my next honorable mention, just because I thought it was a very well executed video game movie. It touched upon so many things that surprised me how good it was going to be. It is Sonic the Hedgehog movie. I am really looking forward to the sequels of this movie, but just brilliant movie. Like I said, I just wasn't expecting it to really hit as hard as it did in some moments, and it made me so happy being able to see like an awesome video game character put on screen in a very true and amazing way, even if we did have to bully the producers to change his appearance. Very good, so check it out if you can. So before we get into my number 1, we have some dishonorable mentions. So these were my 2 least favorite movies of the year, and coming in at number 2 on that list is going to be Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel. I just thought this was an absolutely horrendous attempt at a superhero movie. There's nothing to do with superheroes in this movie at all, and just absolutely boring, lifeless characters, lifeless dialogue to action that was just shot so poorly and grainy, and it's just terrible. Don't watch it. And my number 1 dishonorable movie of the year, it is on Disney Plus. It was Artemis Fowl. This was just an absolutely unwatchable movie that somehow I was able to manage my way through just to get a joke review out basically for the year, and just it went wrong in so many places in terms of just miscasting the characters, not good acting, terrible soundtrack, really bad lighting where you can't see anything going on screen, terrible misleading uninspired world and story. It's just everything about this movie fell apart at every single minute of the movie. I haven't done a review for this movie yet because just like with One Night in Miami, I had to watch these movies very quickly. It was tough to find something to watch it on. But Minari was a movie that just hit on every single level and every single scene for me. It connected me with so many things that just brought me down a little bit, but it truly made me happy watching this movie and seeing these characters, everything that they're going through. It is a South Korean film, and just, I do truly think this should be up, if not the winner for Best Picture of the Year. Just everything that it touches upon in terms of the immigrant experience and family life, and just having to adapt to new new culture but still hold on to everything that you believe in and you come from is so well executed in this film. And like I said, it just genuinely made me feel every single emotion that the movie wanted you to, and I thought that was absolutely brilliant in terms of its execution and its story. Even when it's quiet, it hits every single atom in your body and just makes you feel things. And just amazing acting. Best movie of the year by far for me, and I highly recommend it to anyone. So that is the list of my favorite movies of the year, with some honorable mentions and dishonorable mentions mixed in between. So let me know what you guys thought about my list and what your top 10 was. What was your favorite movie of the year? What was your least favorite movie of the year? And just let me know in the comments. And while you're down there, you can check out all of my other videos, movie reviews, and everything else that I do on this channel through my playlist on below. And of course, if you like what you see, you can subscribe and turn the ringer on if you want to know when I upload new videos. But until more movies come out in the new year, you can check out my most anticipated movie list of 2021, which I'll link up at the top here. And I am just super excited to review 4 movies for you guys in the new year. So of course, Happy New Year. Awesome, guys. Take care.